Welcome to today's Business and Technology Academic and Career Pathway, or ACP workshop. The focus of today is on automotive technology and design. So I'll go ahead and turn it over to our automotive technology faculty who will do introductions and give an overview of the department.
Hello, everyone. My name is Paul Katzen. I am the currently department chair of automotive technology. The department chair position is a rotating one. So any of the full-time faculty are available to answer any of the questions you may have. I'm an ASE certified master technician, also a California licensed small check instructor. So we teach the small classes. We'll get to those later. And also a certified auto detailer. We offer a detailing class, and there's certifications for that also. Steve Vail, our other full-time faculty member, ASE certified technician, also certified in hybrid. We offer hybrid courses. Arnaldo Williams, ASE certified master technician. He also has hybrid and diesel training also.
Okay, hi, how are you doing? My name is Arnaldo Williams, and I'm a full faculty member here at MiraCosta College Automotive Department. Question that was brought up is, why did I decide to follow the automotive career path? And I think the career is like a sword that would allow you to move on into life, battling the dragons and everything. So that's how I perceive a career path, you know? It will allow you to be successful, to overcome things that will come up. And I also, at the same time, I tried to find a career path that was going to be as flexible as possible. So, and things that I enjoyed, things that I like to do. That's, I think, really important for anyone who's trying to find a career path, find an element that you enjoy. Keep in mind, you're going to be doing that for 30 years, 40 years, who knows, maybe more. So take that in consideration. Since little, I like to take things apart. I like to see how things work. So that is the fact that it drove me into learning automotive. And then also another aspect of automotive is the fact that I can go anywhere in the world and I can find a job. Technology-wise, the car works the same here in the United States, Germany, Israel, South America, Central America. It's the same thing. I don't have to get any recertification or anything. I have the knowledge, I the know-how. It gives me also the opportunity to be able to do work on my own. You know, if I decided to go and work on my own company, it is easier because I don't need whatever I need, I will be able to do on my own. So it gives a little bit of flexibility. And lastly, but not least, I don't have to pay anyone to fix up my cars, you know? It's getting pretty expensive as well. And it's something I enjoy. I think anything that you decide yourself to follow as a career path, it has to have some rewarding aspect of it, something that when you are done, you feel inside, wow, I did it, it's good.
All the full-time instructors, as I said, 30 years experience, and our adjunct instructors are industry professionals, which is nice because they can offer a real different perspective. They're working in the field, and they're great to have. So here's an overview of our program, and there are different courses and certificates to fit everyone's needs and schedules. But we offer everything from individual courses where you could build that into certificates of proficiency, as well as certificates of achievement. And a list of certificates here. Proficiency would be a couple of courses. And a certificate of achievement would be a larger block of courses. And then, of course, our automotive technology certificate of achievement can be built into an associate's degree. I will just say one thing quickly. The certificates of proficiency are nice to get as you're working towards a certificate of achievement or an associate's degree. And what I mean by that is many of our students will be looking for employment or looking for a job. But then they may not have something physically that they could show a potential employer on a job interview. So we like to encourage our students to get that certificate of proficiency to show that they've taken a couple of classes and passed, and then they can take it and physically show a potential employer that they've taken some classes and gone so far. One thing I've noticed, and to many students, is that they you guys may not exactly know how to find the program on our on the MiraCosta website, and it's very user friendly. So what you just want to do is go to the MiraCosta homepage. In the search box, search automotive technology, and then this page will pop up. And then down we see is automotive technology at MiraCosta College. Click on that, and it'll take you to our certificates and degree pages, individual courses. Just navigate through there and look at the tabs. I'll talk about our industry partnerships and certifications. We have an ongoing relationship with Nissan Corporation. Nissan Corporation, they donate training vehicles. We were talking to Nissan recently about getting a full a training program, although they have put the brakes on that at the moment, although we're working to work with other manufacturers. So we don't have to work with only one. Part of working with the manufacturers is you have ASE certification, not just, which is for the shop. And what that means that they would look at our facility and inspect our training areas, inspect our tools. Of course, we all have to hold certain certifications, meaning all the instructors have to have particular ASE certifications. And then our program would be ASE certified, and which is a requirement to work with manufacturers on a full training level. Okay, and we're in the process of doing that now. Student success, and just for the moment here, I didn't tell a little bit about myself, and I missed that cue there, but I am, I guess, a student success story because I went through the automotive program in 1990 and 91, and with the intent to open up a shop of some sort. And it was an excellent experience first visiting MiraCosta College and seeing the program that many years ago. I really liked what was being done here. I liked the teacher. I liked the courses and the flexible schedule. And so I went through the entire program. After 2 semesters, of course, it was the certificates were a little simpler then. I had a certificate in automotive technology, and then also I got a smog license, and then I went and started my own business called Inspect-A-Car, where I was an automotive consultant. So I didn't have enough money to open up a shop, and so I would. My business was about going out and going to car dealers and car lots and private parties, and I would inspect a used car before someone bought the car. And it was really interesting because I was able to utilize all of my mechanical skills and my diagnostic knowledge and basically tell that person, yes, this is a good car to buy or don't buy. And it was extremely rewarding because I was able to help people as well as make a living. And so anyway, and then from there transition to teaching here at MiraCosta College. And it was a nice journey. A few quick success stories. Tevin Tagarchi, excuse me. He's a former student, owns Kevin's Auto Care in San Marcos. I have some links here. If I don't know if Annie, you want to click on one real quick, we can even pull one up. A student wanted to start a shop, had a dream, it may not let you click it, but we could just we don't need to see the site, but he's got a nice little shop in San Marcos and helps people and fixes the community members' cars and just good business. Andrew Sturck, he's a student and former owner of North County Detail. So he started North County Detail in Oceanside and did a great business, auto detail shop. And then he sold the business. So wow, he built it up, sold it. Now he's working in the detail industry. He's doing great. Elizabeth Beeson, this is one of our most recent ones. Single mom working at a movie theater, closed due to COVID. She landed a job with Premier Chevrolet in the parts department. So I always like this one for a few different reasons. And that's because, taking an automotive class isn't always about, going out there and fixing cars. About 1 in 8 jobs is related to the automotive industry in some way, shape, or form. So because of that, for example, Elizabeth, she did great fixing cars, but what they needed was someone at the time who could handle the parts department. Knows what a spark plug is versus the fan belt and a hose, and knows her way around. So that was a skill. And I love my favorite saying, which I like to tell all my students, is skills pay bills. And so, wow, these skills we gather are like tools in a toolbox, I tell them, and you never know when you need that particular tool. You carry it around, and sure comes that opportunity, and you have it. So, I always tell people you can never have too many skills, and get out there and take as many courses and build them up. So, some great courses to check out. First course, Auto 102, Preventive Maintenance. This is a great first class to take because it's bumper to bumper. And as a matter of fact, Auto 102 contains a little bit about every course you see below there. A little bit on detailing, a little bit on basic engine performance, electric, suspension, brakes. And so if you're starting your automotive education, your journey in that, I always say take 102. And because the question every student has after they take one or two automotive courses is they always ask, well, what next course should I take? And the next course I tell them if they've taken 102 is say, take a course that's related to the thing you liked most about Auto 102. So if you liked electrical, take an electrical course. If you like brakes, take a brake course. Because I think when we're happy and comfortable, we will succeed. And I just speak from my own experience. When I was a student in MiraCosta, I excelled in the engine performance side of my education. And when I took the suspension and brake side, I was good, but I didn't really warm up to it as much, and I didn't do as well. And so but however, I had the success of the engine performance side to really boost my interest, my self-esteem, and it really helped me to want to learn more about a particular subject that I really wasn't the most interested in. Suspension and brakes is very straightforward, take apart, put together, very visual. Engine performance is more theoretical, a lot of critical thinking, and I kind of had a bent towards that. They're all important for total auto repair, but I always like to tell people take the courses you like to take first. So great first courses to check out, and that's about all I have to say about automotive. We'd love to see you. If you have any questions, please contact me, send me an email, and we hope to see you in our program.
Thank you so much. We'll go ahead and switch gears to design. Paul?
Thank you, Annie. Well, we are the design department, and we're located on the Oceanside campus, which is where I am today in my office, which adjoins the Maker Lab. You can probably see some of the equipment out the door. The Maker Lab is currently operating, although in the era of COVID, we don't have as many students come through as we normally do. In the design department, we have two full-time faculty members, myself and David Parker, my office mate, who could not be with us today. We also have 8 associate faculty, and the majority of our faculty have backgrounds in either engineering or architecture or some type of computer-aided design programs. We have licenses, we have registered architects, we have registered engineers, we have certifications in various software programs and so forth to keep up to date with the latest trends in computer-aided design and drafting. What we do in the design department is we create the built environment that you see around you. So the chances are you're at a computer right now. Well, that computer was designed. Maybe you're on your phone, right? Everybody's got one of these in their pockets. That phone was designed. And that process starts in the designer's head. So by nature, all of us are designers. We have great ideas in our head. But how can we get that great idea translated into something that actually works? Well, that's the design process. And that's what we teach at the college. How do you take that idea from your head, translate it into some models and drawings that can ultimately be constructed, and built. So if it's a product example, like the computer or the chair you're sitting on, or the phone that you have in your hand or your pocket, it's more of a product design. Those are manufactured at some point. And if it's the room that you're sitting in, or more than likely because of COVID, the house that you're in or the apartment that you're in right now, that was designed at some point by an architect, and then it was constructed. So in addition to the design classes that we teach, we have courses in manufacturing processes and construction materials, which also teaches the processes needed to construct that product or environment. We probably have around 250 years of experience in the design department, including our associate faculty. And I really think that's a big plus for any of our students, because there's a faculty member who has worked or is working or used to work or who has taught for a long time in just about any field in the design area that you're interested in. And so the networking opportunities amongst just our faculty are pretty significant. And then our staff also has some very serious credentials as well. You probably can't see it, but our instructional associate, Chris Bain, is with us today in another room. Actually, Chris, if you say hi, I think it'll switch videos to you. Go ahead and say hi.
Thank you, Paul. Hi, everyone. My name is Chris Bain. As Paul mentioned, I'm the instructional associate of the design department. I am actually sitting in the Maker Lab itself. Paul referenced the machines that are busy printing in our room next door. We also have a number of our machines here. And when we are not in the COVID environment, this would be a coursing place of collaboration. Students would always be coming and going. We have lab assistants in here who are ready and willing to assist students with any type of questions or concerns or work that they may have. So hope you take some interest in the design department. If you have any questions, please contact anyone in this department. Thank you.
Thank you, Chris, for joining in. And I noticed that we had perhaps a student. Is that Albert Garcia, maybe a student coming in, or counselor? And Jeff Heaton has joined us. Jeff is the newest member of our associate faculty. He's teaching the Intro to Engineering class for the first time this fall 2020, and he's doing a great job. The students are really enjoying that class. So Jeff, we won't put you on the spot, but welcome, and let's go ahead and move on to the next slide here. So here's a look at the certificates and the associate's degrees that we offer in the program. And what I like about the options for students here is you can start off with the goal to get an associate's degree, and you can do it in an area that's of interest to you, or you can start off with a very small 8-unit certificate in, say, AutoCAD certified user. And you can finish that up quickly and you can add it to your resume. Or you can go the associate degree route, and in the process, you can get some smaller certificates if you would like. We also have folks that come back from industry who want to upgrade their skills and get one of the certificates of proficiency. Well, we have so many student success stories, and we can go on, but I limited it to just one. And this is Rogelio Hernandez. Our students come from all different kinds of backgrounds. I think Rogelio started off with a more traditional path. He graduated from El Camino High School right here in Oceanside, and he came to MiraCosta to pursue a certificate in computer-aided drafting and design. And he received that certificate and then got a job as an AutoCAD technician for a civil engineering firm specializing in retaining walls here locally in Bonsall. Well, he did that for about 3 years and he got a lot of great experience and he enjoyed it, but in his own words, he wanted more. And so in the summer of 2019, he signed up for the class that Jeff Eden is now teaching, Design 109, Intro to Engineering. And that really changed his course. He decided at that point that he wanted to eventually become an engineer. So he received another certificate in engineering technology, and he began taking some of the calculus and physics classes that would be required for his engineering degree. I got a couple emails from him recently. He's doing very well in those calculus and physics classes. And along the way, in the spring, he did an internship for Northrop Grumman, where he was a CAD operator, utilizing some of the skills that he learned in the design department. He's back in school in the fall, and I wrote a reference letter for him for the Bridges Scholarship, which he received. So he's getting $5,000 a year to continue his education and get his engineering degree. So a very different path, and there is no single path for our students here, but he illustrates a couple of them, I think. And so that's why I chose to highlight him as a student success story. But we have students that come to our department and take a couple of classes, fulfill their GE requirements, transfer to a 4-year engineering school. Many of our students have gone to SDSU, many have gone to UCSD, UC Berkeley, UCLA, the Cal Polys, Long Beach State. Those are some of the top feeder schools. And then we have other students who just get their certificate, they get a job, and they're happy. And sometimes we see them again. They stop by and say, "Hey, I've been working here for 5 years, and thanks for all you did for us. It's going well." And we consider those to be success stories as well. I just highlighted a few of our courses that are offered this spring, in the spring of 2021. First is Design Fundamentals. This is really a great class to teach the design principles that are needed for any design profession. And it starts with the fundamentals of sketching in 2D and then makes its way into the 3D world using some of our rapid prototyping equipment as well as hand tools to construct those designs. And it's offered on Monday and Wednesday from 11 to 1:20 p.m. through Zoom. Design 101, the second course listed here, is computer-aided design and drafting. We have 2 sections of this that are entirely online, and those are asynchronous. So as long as you hit the deadlines, you can complete those classes. And this is a great course to introduce you to the fundamentals of 2D computer-aided design and drafting, as well as a little bit of 3D towards the end of the course. It's required for many of our certificates, and it also introduces you to the various industries that CAD is involved with. And that includes architecture, engineering, product design, landscape design, civil engineering, aerospace, on and on it goes. So it's really a fundamental course that will help you get there. We also have a Zoom option for that class on Tuesday, Thursdays in the morning. And then the third class highlighted here is Engineering Design Graphics, which is from 2 to 4:50 using Zoom. This is a transfer class, as are the other classes, but for the engineering programs. And Here you'll learn the fundamentals of engineering design graphics for producing CAD models and producing 2D drawings and documentation. So those would be a good place to start if you're interested in the design fields and you're looking for a first class to take in the spring.
My name's Nina Lovejoy. I'm the Employment Services Program Manager here at the college and also on the ACP Success team. So if you have questions that are kind of related to career issues or are uncertain about career assessments and other kinds of things, we'll talk a little bit about that. But kind of piggybacking on what Paul shared, Paul Katzen and Paul Clark, I just pulled a typical job that somebody might take after completing a certificate or degree here at MiraCosta, and kind of what the salary ranges look like, what the projected growth is, some other kinds of jobs kind of in that area. So I'm going to start with automotive, and I just pulled the most common one that you would think of, but I learned a lot from Paul Katzen that not everybody goes down that path, but I chose automotive service technician and mechanic, and just sort of tried to give you a snapshot of the kind of what the industry looks like, what the projected growth is, what you can expect with various education levels, kind of what the demand is. So that's what each of the parts of this slide will show you. So the typical salary for someone in this job title, automotive service technician mechanic, is $42,000 a year. So that's the median actually salary for mechanics. And if you look at that lower left-hand corner, there is a section that talks about how many job postings were done in the last 12 months. Thanks, Annie, for the arrow. So that number, 2,130, is the number of job postings for auto service technicians and mechanics in San Diego and Carlsbad Metro. So that's our San Diego County reach. So all over the county, 2,130. Positions for that particular job title. And I did sort of what I call the COVID gut check to see about how robust this might be within the last 6 months. And I can't pull this level of report for a 6-month period. I can just do it for a year. But I will tell you that in my ability to compare that 2,130 positions with the COVID period, which I just used the last 6 months, actually it held up better. So it's more robust in a COVID environment. So you'd expect the total to be roughly 50%. Actually, there were 1,165 automotive service technician mechanic postings done in the last 6 months. So that's more than 50% of the total, which shows that this is a fairly robust environment for this particular field. So it's a good choice for as things are uncertain. It's a fairly robust field. A little bit about kind of what education level is required and the years of experience that are required and kind of what that gets you in terms of how the postings are, what they're looking for. You'll see that 97% of the folks who are being hired in this particular area, they're looking for, they call it a high school degree, but it's not really just high school. It's actually called high school / vocational education, or it really is to say that if you get a certification. So Paul was talking a lot about certifications and how those are really important. Getting that ASE certification and other kinds of certifications are really what they're looking for this particular area. So most of these slides you'll see on the next one for design that it shows varying levels of salary for varying levels of experience in terms of education and experience. But in this case, 97% of the folks, 97% of the postings are looking for a high school or certificate type training to break in. And then the years of experience is pretty positive too. It's fairly user-friendly for entry into this particular field. So about 55% of the postings are looking for people that have 0 to 2 years experience. So it is a learn while you earn kind of a thing where maybe you're stacking your certificates and credentials, but maybe working in the field at the same time. So it's very user-friendly in terms of being able to get some certifications and some classes under your belt and be able to be employed fairly quickly. And reasonable growth within the next 10 years, about a 7.4% projected growth rate for this particular job title. past. So I also, just to kind of give you an idea of different kinds of jobs that might be related to this automotive service technician and mechanic position, the central part of this graph is that particular job. But as you go off in different directions, the further away you get from the circle, the less related the jobs are. But lots of things that are kind of related to that are some of the things that Paul was discussing. So maybe you're going to go into auto body, or maybe like one of our success stories, you might do detailing. Maybe it's about diesel. Maybe diesel is really interesting to you, or even going into heavy equipment. So you can see there's lots of different job titles that kind of relate to this particular job title, which shows that there's also some movement within this particular industry to give you lots of different kinds of experiences. So that's a little quick snapshot with automotive. Next we'll do design. So I again chose just a very somewhat general position, a CAD designer drafter. So like Paul talked about, Paul Clark talked about, it wouldn't be uncommon to have kind of the toolbox approach of having some CAD experience and being able to go into lots of different things. So a CAD designer drafter might be in a design build kind of environment and heading toward architecture, or maybe it is more toward the building of products and kind of more toward the engineering track. But a little quick snapshot shows that in the last year, 463 positions that asked for CAD designer drafters were posted in San Diego. So not as many as on the auto mechanic side, but fairly specialized to have that experience using CAD software and kind of understanding how it works. So having some classwork under your belt helps in that regard. So I again did the check, and in the 6-month period, there were not half, but a little less than half. So about 37%, 174 positions within the last 6 months in that same job, within that same job title. So sort of, again, a COVID gut check that says maybe this isn't quite as robust as other industries, but almost all the industries that we looked at were less than half. So the job market has definitely shifted as a result of business closures and decreased demand and all kinds of things like that. But still fairly positive in terms of not being too far less than about half of the job postings that are there. Looking at the salary, and here you'll see that the salary can be based on what level of education you have. So if you have again, they call it high school or vocational training, meaning you have a certificate, an anticipated salary or median salary is $41,000 for this particular position, $41,000 a year. If you get the associate's degree, about a $10,000 bump, so up to 52.7 as the median salary. And then if you get the bachelor's degree, up to $75,000, almost $76,000 per year as an anticipated salary. In terms of the postings, looking at both years of experience and education level, again, fairly friendly to folks. There are certain job titles that the band of people with 0 to 2 years experience is fairly narrow because they're looking for people that have experience. But this shows that this particular job is fairly entry-level friendly to give people the opportunity to have no or limited experience to be able to kind of break in. So about 32% allowing you with very little experience to kind of break in. And then as you have more experience, obviously, the better off you are in terms of both salary as well as availability of jobs. Education level, the same, fairly user-friendly in terms of your ability to find employment with just that certificate or degree. First certificate, about 32%, associate's degree, about 27%, and the preferred degree is a bachelor's degree, but again, that's usually a progression. So you could work your way in, work while you're finishing your education if you're working toward that bachelor's degree. And fairly positive, again, projected growth over the next 10 years, about an increase of about 8.3% for that particular CAD designer drafter job title. So I did the same thing, this slide that sort of takes that CAD designer drafter position, and then it looks at different directions that it can go. And so a lot of these were some of the things that Paul was talking about that, maybe as a CAD designer drafter, you might take the path that takes you more toward civil engineering or architecture. Or possibly if you're on the design side, maybe you're a mechanical or electrical drafter or a mechanical engineer, landscape architecture. You see a lot of the same job titles that he was talking about are kind of related positions to this CAD designer drafter. So it's a great entry level position that then you could even make decisions about which direction you want to go in terms of making structures or making things in terms of your design experience. And then just an event kind of to put on your radar for next semester. We are doing an event on the 26th of February, which is a Friday. And we have kind of connected with our colleagues not on campus to reach out to the Prop MM design build professionals. So if you've been on campus within the last couple of years and going forward for the next few years, we passed a really large bond, and there are lots of construction projects that are happening on our campuses. So we're going to have a virtual event that will allow students interested in the design build arena to network with some of the industry professionals that are working on our campuses. And they'll be available to talk about their career paths, their journeys that got them to where they are. Some of them are interested in offering internships for our students, so you'll have a chance to learn a little bit more about that. And then they'll also share and maybe share some images or walkabouts about campus construction projects that they've been involved in and are working on. So just a little bit about the Career Center and kind of how we can help you. I kind of divided this into 4 different bullets. So the first couple are, if you are undecided, if you're not sure about your major, is design a major for you, or is automotive a pathway that you're interested in? One of my colleagues, her name is Stacy Mathis. She's a career counselor, and she can help you with assessments that will help you to really kind of do some of that self-discovery work to figure out what you're good at, what you like, what are some things that get you excited. I love that Paul Katzen was talking about taking a class into some part of an investigative class that is interesting to you. That's part of the journey too, is just trying things and seeing what fits and what you like. But they also can do some assessments with you to help you learn more about yourself and maybe guide you in a direction that might help you on your career pathway. Maybe you've decided what your major is, but you're not certain about a job. They can also, the career counselors can also help with, I've picked a major, now what do I do? What kind of job can I foresee myself doing in the future? So kind of helping you to learn more about an industry, or maybe your decisions are related to responsibilities that you have in terms of meeting a certain level of income. There's all kinds of processes that happen that go into your decision making, but it's important to kind of consider those types of things. And then once you're on your way, we definitely help. Our office has a lot of internships. So like we talked about with the design event, but also internships in almost any arena. We can help you to kind of work toward the steps that you need to do to prepare yourself to do an internship. And maybe you're in a situation where you've been displaced from your current job, your pay the bills job through COVID or whatever other circumstances. We can help with jobs right now, jobs on campus, as well as off-campus jobs and all the preparation steps, a resume, mock interviews, other kinds of resources. So our contact information is there on this slide, and we're always happy to help and look forward to working with you. Thank you.
Great. And we'll just wrap up today's workshop with a bit of information from our counseling department. Jocelyn?
Hi, thank you. My name is Jocelyn Perez, and I'm one of the many counselors available to you and to help you in your educational planning process here at MiraCosta. Among some of the things that us counselors do for students is we help you understand the academic policies and procedures. We help you explore what you might want to do and inform you of the opportunities available to you at MiraCosta, whether that be taking a single course for your personal development or professional development, going for a certificate of proficiency or certificate of achievement and knowing the difference between the two, whether you're working toward an associate's degree and or for transfer. We're here to help you in that educational planning process to make recommendations as to how and maybe in what order to take the coursework necessary for you to meet your goals. We also help in letting you know what resources are available to you to help make your journey at MiraCosta the most successful as possible. So in order to make an appointment, if you're interested in exploring any of the career paths presented in this presentation or what else we have available, you can make an appointment by clicking on the link. Well, at this point, maybe copying and going to the link where it says https appointment.miracosta.edu/ACP. ESARS. When you click on that, it'll take you to a page where you'll have to enter your login information. And then you select what ACP you're trying to make an appointment with. And then you can select the counselor that you want to work with. Another option would be to go to our MiraCosta website for counseling and do an online express chat. And the online express chat is for quick questions. We spend about 15 to 20 minutes with you answering anything that's pressing and answering general counseling issues. And then there's one-on-one appointments that you can make with a counselor where we spend 45 minutes with you, helping you navigate and answering any questions you might have regarding the process of either enrolling for courses or what your next steps might be to be more successful at MiraCosta. There are lots of benefits for seeing a counselor among the ones I've just mentioned. If you want to meet your goals in a timely process, we encourage you to meet with a counselor at least once per semester. Things change all the time, and unless you give us the opportunity to meet with you, we won't be able to share with you what some of the updates might be regarding the specific career path that you have selected to follow. So when you get a chance, please at least give us a chance to meet with you at least once, but hopefully at least once per semester. And we will help you design your comprehensive education plan. And that's when we help you understand from beginning to end how long it's going to take you to meet your goal, depending on whether you're going to school part-time or full-time, and what other things you might need to consider in your journey at MiraCosta. Our counting hours span Monday through Thursday, 8 to 7 p.m., and then Fridays, 8 to 3 p.m. And we have now started doing some counting on Saturdays as well to meet the demands of the students. We also have something called My Ed Plan. So this is where you can do some degree audits on your own. There's a what if tool on this that students can use and play around with to see, well, if I'm taking this many courses, how close am I to either an additional certificate or an additional associate's degree? So when you get a chance, I encourage you to start playing around with the My Ed Plan tool, which you find in your SURF portal. And then when you meet with a counselor, we'll teach you how to use this in more detail. These are among some of the resources that we have available to you on campus to make your journey at MiraCosta more successful, and we're happy to talk in more detail about it when you meet with us.
So hopefully that was a helpful workshop. Thank you to everyone. This will be posted in Canvas and shared out with students and staff and faculty. Have a great day, everyone.